just left the business meeting, and I noticed in that meeting that the leader of the group was really focused on making sure everybody heard his point of view and how important certain financial aspects were in making sure that the clients and customers, got the greatest benefit. What was the selling point? It was also pretty obvious that that same leader didn't have a plan about how to language what the benefit was, and he didn't really care. He didn't want to figure out in advance any of the advantages or downfalls or what was or what wasn't a deal. It was basically do 10 or 12 of them and you'll figure out what the problems are and then keep moving forward. So this is Jack Austin of jackaustin.com and Quantum Breakthroughs. In my business experience over the last 10 or 12 years, I've had a lot of opportunity to watch high-performance teams be put together, people of great quality, and then see that basically they didn't meet all of the expectations that were held for them. And in the past, I wondered exactly what led to this. And now, after all that experience and then learning some key elemental systems and processes for the development of business culture, I know. One of the things that I've noticed is there are typically 4 key beliefs that hold high-performance teams back, that keep people from being able to realize their individual and their group high-performance benefits. One is that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. This key belief basically means that other people can't be trusted to do their jobs, and that essentially you can't delegate because people won't do what you need them to do, won't do what you expect them to do, and so just save yourself some time and go ahead and get it done. Of course, all those man hours, labor hours are lost as a consequence from the other people who are on the team who just basically aren't being utilized, and you end up with tremendous bottlenecks in businesses. You end up with duplication of weaknesses and also duplication of single skill sets that keep people from being able to have a diversity of skills that can play off each other. Also, you miss out on another key element, and that is the ability for one personality type or profile to be able to fill in for the weaknesses of another. So additionally, there's a second key area that I've noticed that is really very, very prominent, and that is that people want to clone themselves. They figure that they're really, really good at something. In fact, they're so good at whatever it is they're good at that they don't even notice that they're not good at other things, and they've achieved a success of some level, and so they basically want to make sure that they can duplicate their own capacities, and you end up with a team of people, basically either all offensive players or all defensive players, or basically not a diversity of people. So you've got folks that are trained to do only one key area, because typically people are not defensive and offensive players. Some rare occasions, where that can be the case, but still people have a greater strength typically in either the offense or the defense. So just imagine a team of all strikers, all lead quarterbacks, or a team of all defensive linemen and no quarterback. There's no one to move the ball forward. People just get stuck in the scrimmage and the ball stays still. And this often happens within businesses when that cloning belief system is implemented. There's also another third point, and that is when you end up having people holding the belief that it's my way or the highway. Now, this has manifested in the past as an example of, either do it the way that I teach you how to do it or you'll be terminated, or you can also say that it's basically a person who teaches only their way of doing something to people in multiple different positions in a business. this would be a salesperson training people who are administrative people. Imagine your lead salesperson training your accountants. Not only is there typically a difference in personality profile, but there's a difference in skill set. The sales guy just doesn't know accounting like the accountant does. So you have non-specialist people training specialists, non-experts training specialists and experts. This does not lead to good chemistry. In fact, a lot of times people will jump ship because they know that their level of competency is so much greater, so much higher than the individual that's doing the training. Now, there's also a fourth key area, and this is where you end up having some real challenges as far as situations are concerned. And this is essentially the just do it approach. And this is the approach pretty much taken by the manager that I was talking to you about earlier. You know, basically what it comes down to is you just need to get into action and you need to figure it out. Activity is exchanged for effectiveness. Activity is exchanged for productivity. Activity is exchanged for knowledge. And basically the old axiom of failing to plan is planning to fail comes into play. So essentially there's a lot of non-productive activity, and you know, that isn't necessarily an exclusive guarantee of failure, but it is a guarantee that you're really not going to know what target you're trying to hit until after you've already missed it a whole bunch of times. And it also isn't a guarantee that you're ever going to discover what the true target is. So once again, you know, this is something that I've noticed over time, and what I have also noticed is that there are key elemental systems and processes where you can develop a high-performance culture in a business and on a playing field, where people will play as catalysts and inspirations to each other, and they will bring the best out in each other's performance. That's when a business truly benefits. That's when the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Once again, this is Jack Austin from jackaustin.com and Quantum Breakthroughs. Thanks for listening.